There's what's left of the Streetwalkers tailgate. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Reset channel. Today's project, or this video's project, I'm hoping I can get it all done today. Should be able to, probably, is the Harley. The Viper truck is basically done. Everything that needs to be done to it is done. There is one thing left that I plan on doing. Well, two if you count paint. It needs paint and body work. It's got little tiny dents here and there and whatnot. Anyway, not what we're talking about. The Suburban also, there's big stuff coming on that soon. Just trying to make sure I order the right parts. So that'll be coming in the next few weeks. That is going to be a project. There's going to be several videos on that. This one's, like I said, pretty well done. All that's left is big stuff, like $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 per item thing, and there's only two of those, so great. And then after today, assuming today goes well, there will be one big project left on this, $12,000. But if you ask anyone, there's no money in RV transport. Okay, just get in the Facebook groups and you can see. There's no money in RV transport at all. At all. There's no money in RV transport. Not even a little. By the way, I don't rent this house. I own it. But there's no money in RV transport. There's no money in RV transport. Okay. Now, I'm not trying to sit here and look at all the things I got, because realistically, none of this is really expensive. You know, it's a $14,000 truck. Okay, that's a little expensive. But I got it for 23, brand new. We got this for 18 brand new. You know, obviously the Streetwalker is very expensive. The Suburban was $3,000 cash. So it's not like I'm out here rolling in Lambos and Ferraris, but there's definitely money in this job, and I just get so sick of the people going, "Oh, you can't make any money doing that." You're right. I'm broke and have no idea how I'm going to eat my next meal. Anyway, moving on. Ever since I had this tuned, and I'm not saying it's because of the tuner, I'm not saying it's because of the guy that did the tune, I'm not saying it's because of the actual tuner itself, but very shortly, like a few days after I had it tuned, the oil light started coming on, which you can't really see it, but it's right there, and it glows bright red. It's in your face, and it says, "I have no oil pressure." Now, I know that's not true, because I'm not getting valve train rattle, so the lifters are still getting pressure, and I've checked my oil level, and it's good, and the motor hasn't grenaded, and I've ridden it several hundred miles like that. So I know it's either the sensor down there for the oil pressure, or just something in the tune is causing it to read weird. So instead of going the easy way and just putting a new sensor in it, which would take 5 minutes, I'm going to install, there we go, an oil pressure gauge. I think it was 17, maybe 18, I don't remember, but it used to be, if you were going down the road and you hit your information button, it gave you all of your vehicle information. And one of them was, it gave you your oil pressure. Well, in 17 or 18, they changed it so it just says, oil okay, or check oil. That's it. And if it says check oil, your light's on. Well, how useful is that? So, as you can see from the instructions, what they want you to do is zip tie this little gauge right to your handlebars, whichever one you so choose. I'm not really down for that. So, you know me, we're doing something different. Anyway, I'm gonna get all the tools out I need, and I'll kind of show you what we're gonna do, and I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so I kind of jumped ahead of you guys a little bit. I took the fairing off, which is 1, 2, same on the other side, and then 1, 2, 3 T27 Torx pit bolts, and that takes your fairing and your windshield off. And I was trying to take this piece out, and we had some disagreements, mainly because I didn't have the right tool and I didn't feel like walking back down to the part store to get one. So what we're going to do is stick with the original plan. Drill a hole right here. I have it marked. It is this lower of the 3. And what I did is, because it's an 1.5-inch hole for an 1.5-inch gauge, I went 7/8 of an inch down, so it's not all the way as low as it can go, and then 7/8 off of these lines. Now these lines, while this cover goes all the way up to here, these lines represent, which I can't open it now, but the shell for the housing inside, which I'll show you after I get the hole drilled. So I'll be right back. All right, so what you do is you take that line, you can see that that brand new black piece right there. That's that line hanging out from the frame right there. There's a plug right here, 1/4-inch Allen head. You take that out, you put in the adapter, and you connect the line using the supplied thread sealant. I've already started it, checked for leaks. The other thing you have to do is there's 4 bolts, 2 here and 2 down here. These ones are a T40 and these are a 1/4-inch Allen to get your oil cooler loose so you can get to that. I'm gonna get that all put back together. I'll put the fairing back on, get it all put back together, and I'll show you how it looks clean and how it functions. She's all ready for tomorrow. So I got in the house and I was editing the video, and it came to my attention that I had missed a few things. So after I drilled that hole, let me turn a light on. I drilled the hole, and then I had to take a Dremel and just edge just a hair more than what it was. And I was able to, with a lot of force, get this gauge in here, and it's not going anywhere. Also, on the back side of that, which is right about here, I just took a drill and ran a hole in the back side, and that oil line comes up. There's plenty of room for it to fish through in the fairing and then turn around, and it's not kinked or pinched. It's a very gradual 180, and it comes in the back and then into the gauge. So I sincerely apologize that I didn't get that portion of the installation recorded, but I'm not going to take the fairing all back apart just to get that little video clip. So I'm sorry, and I hope I was able to explain that in a way that made sense. So as you can see, we have plenty of pressure. The light's just on. Bad sensor, bad something. Now all I have to do, clean the bike up, get it ready for tomorrow. I could have easily just replaced the sensor because most likely it's that, or there's something in the tune, whatever. But I would much rather have the oil pressure gauge, because with my tuner, I can see oil temperature, which gives you a pretty good guess as to the actual, like the block, the case in the case of a motorcycle, the case and the cylinders, kind of how they are. And then the cylinder head, I can see that temperature as well with my tuner. So now I have a good feel for what's going on in the engine. And that just kind of makes me happier, so it was worth it. It was $180 for the gauge, the whole kit, and she's golden. So I'm going to clean up my tools, I'm going to clean up the bike, and then I'm going to figure out where that sensor is and trip the wires and turn that dummy light off. With that, I'll see you guys in the morning. All right, so trying to keep you guys out of the wind, but this is the charity ride that I'm telling you about. This is just my group right here, all of us, and then there's people started rolling out already, but probably 200 bikes-ish. And this is a ride that happens every year. It's for breast cancer. We all over the Boise area, Treasure Valley, they all come together, and it's called the Boobie Ride, and raise money for breast cancer research and awareness and all of that. And anyway, that's this part. We're about to take off, and I'll catch you guys sometime later down the road. Good morning. So, those of you that follow me on Instagram saw there was a little issue last night. Well, yesterday, during the charity ride. So, remember at the beginning of this video when I said the oil sensor was going bad, and that's why we put this gauge in so that I can actually monitor oil pressure? Well, it turns out that on occasion, and I've talked to a couple people who work on these Milwaukee 8s, and they said yes, sometimes that happens, is the oil sensor, which is right there, which is the thing that was causing my oil light to come on. Sometimes when those go, they just start dumping oil. I was getting about 18 miles to a quart, somewhere between 15 to 18 miles per quart of oil. It's not good. And I saw the oil like leaking down, and I could smell it burning on the exhaust. I'm trying to figure out what it was, in my mind, because I had just put that gauge in. I'm going through this whole line all the way up and down, and then into the block where I put it. Like, this has to be the leak because I just put this in. Well, finally I'm like, well, maybe if I just build pressure, I'll see it start squirting out. So I get down there, and I'm sitting on the ground, and I grab the throttle, and I hit it, and just a stream of oil shoots out of that sensor. Well, we're out on this charity ride. We happen to have stopped at a Flying J. Like, the ride hadn't actually started, but we grabbed, because our chapter is kind of split over several cities. So we grabbed half in the east end of town, went to the west, grabbed the other half, and it was between the two where we noticed the oil leak. And I'm not going to miss this charity ride. Like, for personal reasons, this is important to me. I'm doing this charity. So, well, I don't care about that sensor anymore, right? Because I got the gauge, and I'm going to figure out what kind of, if I need to put a resistor in or just splice the wires or whatever to make the light turn off. I'm going to get that figured out. I still haven't yet. Anyway, I'm not missing this ride, so I'm going to figure this out, and I don't care about that sensor. So I went into this truck stop. I figured, well, truck stop's going to have some basic, stuff. I found they had 2 quarts of motorcycle oil. I have no idea why that was at a truck stop, but I wasn't complaining. I grabbed both of those. I wanted some brake clean. They didn't have it, so I grabbed starting fluid. They had that. And they had one left of a 2-part epoxy, and I grabbed that. I came back out. Everyone's looking at me like, what the hell are you doing? And I mix up the epoxy, and first I took the starting fluid and I sprayed the inside of the oil sensor, and then I sprayed the wire connector where they, come together. Took that 2-part epoxy, and I just filled that oil sensor with it, gopped it around the electrical sensor, mashed the two together, and held it because it was 5-minute setting. So I just sat there on the ground talking to the guys while I'm holding it. It set up, put another quart of oil in the bike, And okay, let's see what happens. Start it up, no leaks. Rev it a few times, no leaks. Sweet, let's go, guys. And did the whole ride. Little over a full tank of fuel. And no leaks. I mean, there was occasionally I get a little bit coming off, but that was because I had dropped a whole quart. And it was just leaking out of various places. Not once did I see another drop under this sensor when we stopped. So, roadside fix. I know a lot of you were asking about that on the Instagram, so I figured I'd put it in this video. Anyway, I got a couple things going on today. Unfortunately, I'm trying to get this channel monetized as well, so I can't really show you what's going on, but I gotta go get those dialed in because I just got them, and I want to make sure the sights are right. They're adjustable, so I'll get them adjusted and make sure everything's perfect. After that, me and the family are going to go have some fun tonight. We have grown to really love doing escape rooms, so if you haven't done those, go try it. It's a blast. It's not, I mean, it's a little expensive, but it's not terrible. You know, I get my whole family, there's 4 of us, between $120 and $140, depending on the escape room. Like I said, it's a little expensive, but it's such a blast. So go check it out. Go try it. Have a good time. Anyway, I'm going to go do that and then spend some family time, get this video uploaded for you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. But how about, because apparently this is a thing on YouTube, we end this video with a nice cold start. I'll see you guys on the next one.